Today it's kind of early, but actually I was going to post this much earlier today, like around 2 in the morning. But anyway, this is Hannah Klein, and welcome to my podcast, Hannah Klein's Time. Today's guest is Mazen, Mr. Mazen Alafif. He is a candidate. Well, he's originally from Suwayda, Syria, and now he is a German citizen. And he is running for a city council from CDU. And I have to say this, but he is going through a very difficult time witnessing the siege by the ISIS, really. I mean, it's not Jolani's, well, it's Jolani's ISIS, but Syria is, to be honest, I mean, they are not functioning as government, okay? As Maya said, if they're handed passports, there will be criminals spreading around, murdering the minorities overseas. So I'm not saying, I'm not talking about religious teachings, but I am talking about this political Islam that Muslim Brotherhood is practicing. And Hamas has a lot to do with this siege, and we should not be ignoring it. But for some reason, as he says, um, like Israel is like facing anti-Semitism. The Druze who are suffering are facing the hate speeches by people. So today he is going to talk about what he thinks about running as a candidate in Germany, and also before that he is going to talk about Suwayda, of course, because it's one of his concerns. Because his father's there for reasons. I mean, he can never get out right now, and his family is also facing some kind of like attacks for some reason, and there is a reason for it. So please listen to our conversation and know and understand about the Druze people. Okay. Good afternoon, right? I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon. Sunny
Yeah,
day.
good afternoon. And it's like kind of evening here. It's like 10. What time is
Yeah,
it? Like 3?
it's 3:03
Okay, 3.
at the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, I have to first say thank you for, finding a translator for me.
Well,
You helped me so much. And, because I really needed help and, advice, and so forth. And also I had to make a lot of requests to you and,
mhm.
yeah. But,
Uh,
because, he was available only in 2 hours. And, he said that, I cannot ask for other time really to him.
yeah, that
Spares.
well, when somebody is under fire and there's no
Yes.
electricity, no internet, it's really difficult. So, um, first of all, thank you for having me, but and thank you that you are investing a lot of energy and time on really important issues these days. And that's why, like, it's the least I can do is to help you back, you know?
Yeah, but that was very kind of you. And, I was I really did not have time. And, this person is not out of nowhere. So I just could not do anything wrong to him, even. I mean, even though because, I was so sure that, who he was. I mean, he was not
Mhm.
a bad person. He's a good person. And I did not want to treat him badly either and, be rude and, other things. So,
Yeah, he sounds great guy. Want to give everything for his
oh,
people,
he was
anything,
such a
and
great
he
person.
is helping. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I spoke with him as well beforehand. He was like, I will do anything, everything, and that's why, yeah, it's good that we are helping you are helping the right people, the people who most need to get their voices outside. Uh, and yeah,
So, Zaid explained a lot
mm,
about Suwayda, and I
yeah,
felt so terrible, listening to his story. But, he, traced days and days, and he told me what happened that day. And, he also remembered his friends killed at the same time.
yeah.
So,
It's not that like it's not even easy to describe what happened in words. They raped women.
women, yeah.
They
Kidnap women,
they kidnapped women. They killed
burn women.
babies.
Yeah.
They burned an elderly man, and that's even verified. With a video. So they
Mm.
burned him alive on his chair.
Oh,
And
yes.
yeah, for example,
Terrible.
so what you are seeing is not just war, not
Mm.
just a tribal
Something.
war.
Yeah.
It's something really deep inside these people who are
Mm.
trying to take out um, the region. Like
Mm.
these people are doing things that basically no human normal mind would fathom. And that's why it's even hard for the guy inside and for us, people who are living outside of
Mm.
Suwayda to describe the amount of stress and the amount of courage as well
Mm.
that the guys down are showing.
Mm.
But at the same time, it's not something that we didn't sow a lot
Well,
throughout the time,
see,
you
like
know?
the video footage
Mm,
of the torture scenes that was taken by those were taken by the this HTS, right? I mean,
yeah,
those Assad's, I mean, not Assad,
uh,
but Syrian
Al
army.
Jolani,
Yeah, Al
yeah, Al
Jolani's army.
Jolani,
So,
yeah, yeah,
he was talking about, keeping a hostage, not hostage, I mean, like war criminals. I mean, it's a real criminals that, they are. And,
it's
they confessed to taking videos in their cell phone or something, he said. And that's how he
yeah,
found out how people were tortured. But,
yeah. Well, even yeah.
go ahead.
So you highlighted
Mm,
a important point here. Because right now they are commanding their soldiers to not
mm,
film. For example, this guy, the so-called um, the one who is like responsible for the
mm,
city security from appointed by Al Jilani, he was like talking, well, we want to protect them, but at the same time, it was leaked, like a phone call from him with other commander.
mm,
Please don't record anything. Wait until we stay inside the city, and then we will do whatever we want to them. We will kill them. I can show you the leak. It's not translated yet,
mm,
but that's why, like you see, even the moderates, and then they are like showing they are terrorists, but exactly like Jilani, it's a terrorist in a suit, and the people around him are the
mm.
same. They are going out on television with a other face. But what's really happening, it's not
Terrorist in a
that.
suit, really.
Yeah,
Right?
that is the like, I they are terrorists in the suits because somebody in a suit can like basically go home back after a long day of work, and
Mm.
then he can wear something else, and that's what basically the problem inside of uh, this new Syria, which it's actually not Syria anymore. You have a country who was devastated from a war against another dictator, and yeah, now you have a ISIS terrorist and
And
HTS
yeah, like, ISIS, you
supported.
know,
Yeah,
executed many people. When,
yeah,
when I mentioned October 7th, for example, you know,
yeah,
that, I just in one stance, in one inst, just 1 second, it was like, oh, that's ISIS, same example.
exactly,
And,
exactly.
on the same day, there was, they found ISIS flag,
Yeah, yeah.
in Israel.
It
Yeah.
it is, it is basically ISIS. ISIS, HTS, Hamas. They these groups, they are actually ISIS, but they basically have maybe like other name, but the core of their operations, the way how they move, the way how the ideology, it is the same, basically.
Yeah, this is
But
like
now, yeah,
almost like, Nazi, really. Like taking
yeah,
out
well,
people and,
yeah, well, exactly. So if you will find some similarities
mm,
between Hamas
mm,
or HTS or ISIS,
mm,
and with the Nazis.
mm,
So first of all, they like the Nazis. They thought back then they thought that they are the race who was chosen. They are the best in everything, and that's why they need to kill everybody who is not Aryan
mm,
or not like 100% German. So, and now you have also people, but
mm,
it's not about like race, it's
mm,
about ideology and about religion. So
mm,
every other religion must
mm,
be done.
mm.
And the
Yeah.
motive between a Nazi and a Hamas, ISIS, HTS
Mm,
uh, on killing people, these
mm,
people are like, they think that they are doing some kind of good for their
mm.
God or whatever. So, and they are basically ready to die for that. They are not just
See, that's
brainwashed.
exactly Hamas, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
Hamas,
I was
Hamas and ISIS. Yeah, yeah.
I was looking at this UNRWA camp. It's
Hmm.
horrible. I cannot believe,
Yeah.
the media, just supporting, resistance, Hamas, whatever. They take Hamas narratives and talk in the news, right? And
Yeah,
also,
well,
well, see, like, in Japan,
mhm.
the commentators say, well, Prime Minister Netanyahu, the problem. Okay, just take out that part, please. I'm sorry. I cannot take it, really.
Well, that
I
that's
mean,
that's
he's a great
that's
communicator. He's
yeah.
not
Well,
like, what the media describes in a sense. And,
and at least he's somebody who's doing what he's saying.
mm,
That's also a good. He have courage. He is
yeah, he had a lot of courage when, he committed
exactly
preemptive attack against the
exactly
Islamic. Yeah.
for example, even against Hezbollah, they like
Mm,
he said, okay, we need to do that now,
mm.
and with Iran, for example, and that made a lot of good actually to the world.
Yes.
The nuclear facilities
Yeah.
that Iran had are now like out of service. I didn't saw the news now lately, but
Yeah.
at least at the time, they attacked,
Mm,
like, it was a big danger, you
mm,
know. So, and it's the same. So when he is saying we want to do something, they will do it. He doesn't have two faces, and that's something that I and everybody is
Mm, yeah.
appreciating.
You
And
know,
no,
yeah,
he is not the problem, to be honest. The
right. Yeah.
problem is when you take the aid for,
Hamas that's,
yeah, it's
wants to
exactly.
exterminate the Jews. Okay.
Exactly. So exactly, you see on October the 7th, for example, um, many of Hamas
Mm.
who went out like they were killed, but they were killing everybody on the way because they knew they will die, and that's their purpose. They will die, but they want to take with them as much as possible from,
In the most
from
cruel way. And
exactly,
when I saw October 7th, well, when I see it, I've seen Aura dancing, this crazy thing, just burn the Jews, whatever, all these things. And to me, okay, the news is wrong. What is wrong is
mm,
that it's like, Jews are treated like subhuman. And right? I mean, in
yeah,
Syria right
yeah.
now, Al Jolani, treating, I mean, it's under siege, really.
Yeah, it's exactly. So, my family are there, at the time, at the first wave of attacks.
Mm.
My uncle, my four of cousins, they are dead. And I
They were
have also,
executed, right?
they were executed,
Terrible.
exactly.
It's
And my uncle, he was a great guy. He didn't have any issues, but because he is a Druze, he need to be died. He need to be killed. So you see, like what we are seeing right now, not just the siege. The siege is a tool for them,
hmm
for the people inside to starve. They couldn't, they tried all the ways they want to starve us. But if you see the whole problem right now, you know it's not a tribal war. For example, in the media, the, the, what we're having is
hmm
they are adapting this narrative that this is a tribal war between Druze
hmm
and Bedouins, which is not the case. You
Well,
have
see, it's like oppressors, really, just
exactly.
suppressing,
So
like,
exactly, like
and it's
that
not
is
just
not the narrative.
suppressing, they want to kill everyone. That's the problem.
Exactly. So it's not just not because like you have the siege,
Yeah.
they are not allowing anything to come in. It's the
Yeah.
22th day. You
Yeah,
don't have fuel. You don't
they must stop it now, really.
now.
Yeah.
It's not like a thing that has to be done in after some people discussing anywhere else. They need
Mm.
to open because other else everyone will die there. You know,
Yeah, there is no
you have like
electricity. That means
no
like, they
fuel,
were, yeah, they were
no
saying,
fuel.
mhm,
Exactly. So you have right now 700 people,
mhm,
700,000 people, sorry,
haven't I read
who
that?
are
Yeah.
surrounded by ISIL. And fun fact, you have Hamas as well, who
Hamas.
is operating in Syria.
Oh,
In
see, that means that, like Druze, seen as subhuman. I mean, Hamas
as
sees
well,
that way, right?
as well, because first of all, you have like the Druze and the Jews.
Mm,
We share a lot. By what I mean by that,
mm-hmm,
we share the same history.
mm-hmm,
We were basically hated by the people around us, the Jews mainly in Europe and also in the Middle East, and the Druze as well. And that's why, when you look up where are the Druze living in the Middle East, you see they are all the time at the mountains. So because the
mm-hmm.
mountains is the place where you can be protected and the enemy cannot
Because
easily
they need to
attack you.
climb, right? So
Exactly.
there's a real,
So exactly. So our ancestors in in the region, They chose mountains to be protected in, mainly because we were like persecuted and we were followed and attacked by the people around us. Because in their eyes, since 1,000 years or more, we are basically subhumans, and we need to be died for in the enemy eyes. And the Jews as well in Europe, they were suppressed by the Europeans. You see,
yeah, what you say is true about that. It's not just about the Middle East, but they were
yeah, it's a
persecuted
worldwide.
in Europe as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a worldwide problem, and because we share the same history, you had the state of Israel, you have which is, thank God they are there. You have the state which was built mainly also by the Druze and the Jews, because we shared the same history. We made a thing called a blood alliance, or the band of blood that's between the Druze and the Jews. Because we shared the same history, nobody is willing to like I haven't found anyone in the history fighting for the Druze, and that's for the Jews as well. So nobody was fighting for the Jews. They were prosecuted. They were attacked everywhere, every time throughout the history. So when we found each other in Israel, the Jews and the Druze, we found these similarities, and nobody will defend the Jews as well, but the Druze. Like, it was proven throughout the history, and now it's the time to prove that. So in my, it's not just because of the siege and the Israel, they are helping a lot, but you see, we as Druze right now, we don't have anywhere else. We can't like just leave. We are stuck, in a place where everybody surrounded by us is hating on us. So the Druze in Israel, they knew that, and that's why they helped building the state of Israel, because they believe in that. But we have the same destiny,
Yeah,
if
there are a lot of Druze in Israel too, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
and they are proud Israelis, not just because of like to get more advances from the state or anything. No, it's mainly in the history. They built as well with the Jews the state of Israel. It's like the only place where the Jews and the Druze are protected. And here in Germany, where I live, I am a Druze. The Syrians, the Islamic Syrians, who are, yeah, radical, they are boycotting. So, for example, it will be for me a very hard experience to go and to a Syrian restaurant, because they
You
they
might
will
be
sell.
attacked,
Yeah,
really.
exactly, yeah, and my sister even was attacked, in Düsseldorf.
What?
Yeah, she was thrown at by a bottle of glass from
My
a
goodness.
Syrian guy, because it was like a demonstration, but she was like, he didn't anything. She was like walking by, and he knew that she is a Druze, and he threw a bottle of her on her. We can't even transfer money to Suwayda, because the traders here who are transferring money to Syria, they won't let us transfer.
Oh.
They are boycotting us, and you see on the internet as well, and mainly on X, you have many people who are saying we have to boycott the Druze. It's it like they are sieging the Druze inside in Swida. They are boycotting every Druze, doesn't care which Druze, if a Druze of Israel or Syria or Lebanon, you have now a boycotting. And that's what happened as well at the October the 7th, you know?
Yeah.
The Arab world and the Muslim world, they boycotted Israel.
Well,
So
first start with PLO, right?
yeah,
Come
you
on.
know, so you have this similarity
Yeah.
back then with October
Mhm.
7th, and now what's happening in Suwayda.
Mm.
What happened in Suwayda is basically a October the 7th, but
Mhm.
of the Druze. You have a massacre, but we don't have an IDF. That is the problem.
So,
We are
yeah,
under siege. Yeah,
yeah, like October 7th, that was terrible, but that was
mm,
stopped because of the level of IDF. But,
exactly.
like the security level, I mean, is very high, but,
Yeah,
in Syria, like your nation is like under siege, really.
yeah,
By
like
Jolani
you
right
know,
now.
yeah. Well, the problem is that Al Jolani managed to, because in the eyes of the Muslims in Syria,
Mhm,
the Sunnis mainly, he is like some kind of a Jesus. He liberated Syria from Assad, and that's why he is somebody who is chosen somehow by God.
mm,
Maybe it's metaphorical, but you
mm.
have a whole nation
Hmm.
named attacking a minority cyber wall
Well,
organization.
yeah,
Yeah,
cyber war. Yeah, like you mentioned, 45 million hate speeches prevailing.
hate against just one minority. It's
Yeah.
against 700,000 people. You have in 3 months
Mhm,
45 million posts, comments, videos, or pictures across all social media platforms attacking just the truth. You know,
yeah.
so it's not that they are now adapting this narrative right now in Syria.
Um,
The Druze are the traitors,
mhm.
and they don't want to live with us. The
Ah,
problem is not they are.
Zaid mentioned that,
Mm.
uh, this Syrian army worked very hard to, just to make the situation really terrible and, pretended like they were protecting, the situation.
Yeah, not just that,
Yeah.
the command of this Dalati guy, Dalati is the chief officer of the security in Suwayda,
Hmm.
who said, who commanded these forces, don't make photos, don't make videos. We have to do it secretly. And you have that voice record leaked. So they know what they are doing. They want to show something,
Hmm.
but in the night
Later
when
or
the lights
something,
cut
right?
off, exactly, they will attack. So of course nobody will accept
Mm-hmm.
anyone coming inside, mainly because the guys who want to come inside,
Hmm.
their whole goal, it's
Hmm.
not just taking land, it's not just politics, it's mainly because they want to ethnically cleanse the Druze. That's exactly what Hamas did on October the 7th, you know?
Yeah.
So you have this similarity. And
Mm-hmm.
now, for example, we have 700,000 Druze,
Mm-hmm.
a ethnic religious minority, living under siege for the 22 days.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, some way, all the world is focusing on Gaza. It's a tactic
It's
that
weird. I mean,
it's as
there's
we
so much
started.
aid going
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah. So the thing is, you have this the Druze outside of Suwayda, in
Mm,
Europe, in America, in Israel, everywhere. They, as they started to highlight the issue
mm,
that we are under
mm,
siege, nobody were looking because somehow everyone was focused on Gaza. So you have a lot of power, a lot of
Mm.
money, uh,
Yeah.
just financing these terrorists and making the whole world seeing another narrative, another like it's hard to describe how how organized they are,
Yeah, I
these
think that they
terrorists.
are, this hate speech is probably like cyber, kind of
Yeah,
like attack,
cyber war,
cyber war
it's
against,
cyber
warfare
warfare.
against.
It's exactly because for example, if you look in TikTok, for example, here in Germany, we have people who are daily sending to the authorities videos of people spreading hate speech here, but in
Mm.
not just hate speech, but in a jihadi way. So they are like,
Yeah.
it's alarming for the
Like, well,
whole.
it's like, it's more like I hate, but it's like they must be eradicated, right?
Exactly, because not just that, like saying all the Druze shall die,
Mm,
it's something that is not just racist, it's
mm,
not just hate speech,
mm,
but from Germany alone, I personally reported three who went from Germany to Suwayda to make jihad, to attack, you know. This cyber war,
mm,
it's just a little part of
mm,
a whole operation
mm,
against people who are living in a mountain. We didn't
mm,
attack anybody, throughout the history as well. The Druze didn't attack anyone because at the most time we were the people who were attacked. That's why we live under a mountain. We don't have to do anything with the outside. And
mm,
now what is happening is the same. Nobody from the Jews,
mm,
nobody went to Damascus and start slaughtering people and
yeah.
siege them, to for because Hamas, for example, made this narrative. Yeah,
Mm,
Gaza is an open air prison, and that's why we need to liberate. You know,
mm.
you have
They are
now Hamas.
creating, like this
You know
prison like situation.
exactly, exactly. So. And now you have them doing the
Mm,
same, and I have a list like of Hamas
mm-hmm.
officers who are operating in Syria against the Druze. So
Yeah.
it's really not that easy to fathom the much of the
And
hatred
it's not
inside
just
these
that.
people.
And also
Yeah,
at the same time, it's not irrelevant. It's too relevant. They are like living together and trying to
yeah,
kill people in the same way in Israel and Syria, both.
yeah,
I
and
think
that's
that,
why.
they also
uh,
target, ethnic minorities, Christians, Alawites, everywhere.
yeah, yeah,
And,
and now
and Kurds.
the Kurds
Hmm.
will be the next if the international community
Hmm.
doesn't apply
Hmm.
to and see what's
Hmm.
happening there, not just seeing. You have Tom Barrack, for example,
Hmm.
who is basically saying we need to support al-Shara, the al-Jolani, which doesn't make any sense. And you have at the same time these terrorists
Hmm.
shouting they wanna jihad. The next will be the Kurds, but
Hmm.
you know, we don't know which country will be the next. Maybe it will be, I don't know, Turkey, who is supporting this whole operation. Maybe it's
Well, that's
Lebanon, or
scary. This Turkish
or
Kurds really like,
for example, not
yeah,
Turkey as a state, but
yeah.
Turkish Kurds. They will be also targeted.
Hmm.
And Israel, because
Yeah.
their main ideology, their main goal is to liberate Israel from
The
Israel and, like basically erase the Israeli state.
Yeah,
So,
meaning, all these Zionists, basically,
exactly.
you know,
So, Zionism idea is
mm,
basically because the Jews were so, like they were attacked throughout the history.
Yeah.
We don't see a lot of details because a lot of this was actually also erased with these
Mm-hmm.
attacks. For example, during the Nazi time in
Mm-hmm.
Germany, you have Hitler like burning the Jews books and history. They wanted to, and now you have
They
these
want
people
to,
who
murder culture, really, cancel
exactly.
culture. Yeah,
So
like,
cancel culture
yeah.
and in this case,
Mm,
they want basically like Hitler before. Now you have people who want like to say, okay, there was no Druze or Jews here.
mm,
You know, it's we don't know. They are all dead, and it
mm,
was somehow, some way. And that's what we are seeing right now in Sweden.
mm,
People are basically hungry. They don't have fuel. They don't have electricity. They don't have anything. My father is stuck in there.
mm,
He is a professor
mm.
who studied
Oh,
nuclear energy. So he speaks three languages, and he is someone who really did a lot for the world with his scientific experiences and
mhm,
scientific research. Then I see like my uncle, the brother of my father,
mhm.
was brutally executed
Yeah.
by these people who I doubt that they can read. I doubt that.
Oh.
These people are basically filled with these jihadis. They are completely brainwashed, and their
Mm.
main goal is to die and take with them the most of,
Yeah.
in this case, today it's like yesterday was October the
Mm,
7th, you know,
mm,
Jews. Now you have the Druze. So, and what's alarming is not just the idea of this
mm,
siege or the attacks beforehand. The alarming thing is you have a country who basically like, I don't know, 60-70% of them,
mm,
they hate just one minority, and they did that as well beforehand with the Alawites in the
mm,
coast. And yeah, the next would be the Kurds. So you
mm.
have like there is no other way for the Druze to live inside of Syria. In the universities, they made such an effort to kidnap Druze students, for example.
Kidnap.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
there is a voice record of someone
Mm,
who is from Idlib, you
mm,
know, who was saying, if you kidnap a Druze, I will pay you. So, you have this systematic cleansing of
mm.
any Druze inside of Syria. So, yeah, there is no way for us to live in
Oh,
Syria. We need to be internationally protected and economically being
protected as well.
independent
Yeah,
as well.
independent
Exactly.
of Syria. You know,
Yeah.
uh, it's very, very complicated that, this history of Syria, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and and I think that, it's probably the best to be a part of Israel. And, just
Yes,
sit
exactly.
by and
Because that's exactly, if I may like a shortly say, because of this blood alliance
Mhm.
that the Druze there made with the Jews during
Yeah.
the establishment of
Mm,
the state of Israel. I think it's not just the perfect time,
mm,
but it's or the golden chance.
mhm,
But if that doesn't happen,
mhm,
the next will be so hard, not just for Israel.
mhm.
You have like Turkey who is supporting this whole operation.
Yeah, Turkey supports sponsoring Hamas, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
They are
awful.
sponsored Hamas, HTS. You have Turkey supporting this Islamic agenda right
Mm,
now, and beforehand as well. So you have this Turkey who is then so strong and so strategic, so strong that can be even threatening to Europe.
Mm.
The heart of the democracy in the whole side of that world.
Mm.
You have Europe threatened if not just Israel. You have a lot to lose. So
Mm.
and the people, the international community, they are not they want to
Aware
see
enough,
another
right? They're not aware enough
exactly
really, of the
exactly
threats
and
coming.
exactly and the other problem is,
Mm.
you know, this is like I wouldn't say that I'm not saying that in a racist way, but you can't attack a bacteria doing like,
Uh, yeah,
you
like
know, with one
biochemical
dose,
attack,
you know.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but what I was referring is that
Mm.
you have when you have a bacteria, when you don't erase it,
Mm-hmm.
in this case, it will come stronger. I
Mm.
don't mean the people, I mean the ideology
Mm.
behind Hamas, ISIS, HTS. Their ideology is so advanced. You know, 2014,
Mm.
Hamas had rockets that can be launched and distant for about roundabout 13 kilometers. October the 7th. So what
Okay.
just so you have Hamas that on October the 7th they were
Mm.
not that organized. They hadn't advanced technologies or weapons. They don't have technology, but you know, October the 7th in compare to to 2014, for example,
Mm.
they are more advanced and more organized than
Mm.
before. So every time they
Mm.
come back closer. So what Netanyahu said, it is the only way. Hamas need to be done. And now you have Syria and HTS.
Yeah, like
HTS 2016, they were they didn't have anything and they were back down from Aleppo. Now they are doing what they are doing.
yeah,
So
they
yeah,
gain power, you know. I mean,
now they gained a lot actually from the Saudis and Turkish
mm,
technology, you know.
but just one thing, Muhammad Abbas, he obtained
Hmm.
PhD from Moscow State University, right? And not just that, he was writing about how to be doubtful about the Holocaust. That was the
Yeah,
theme of the PhD. It has been updated. Unbelievable.
yeah, you know, that's the problem right now that you know with the Druze they already on in the
Mm,
cyber atmosphere. You have people who are saying that the land of like our land,
mm,
The Druze
mm.
mountain, that was basically took out from them. It's the same like Palestine thing, you know.
Oh.
They are now, how can I say that? They are now preparing for that idea that we as Druze who
Mhm.
lived in this mountain for 1,000 years,
Mm.
you know, continuously. We are somehow, it's not our
Mhm.
land, we are the
Yeah, like you're called
occupiers.
foreigner, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the same thing. What the narrative of Hamas and Israel, you know, and for
Yeah.
so-called Palestine, that their that's not their land. We have to be here, the
Mm.
Palestinians. I mean, so now they are doing the same thing with the Druze in Syria. Like
Mm.
they are saying basically this mountain
Mm.
where the Druze live in, it's not a mountain for the Druze. They
Mm.
are the occupiers. So
Yeah.
which makes you think about a lot in this case.
And this
Like
narrative is spreading in Europe too, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, right now, yeah,
social
that's the
media,
problem.
TikTok, all these things,
Yeah.
are just so stupid. I was looking at, how this anti-Semitic, TikToks
Yeah.
and all these, like, money going into, like, Jews' money going into wherever.
Yeah, that was like the international conspiracy of the Jews was presented by the one and only Adolf Hitler, who
Yeah.
was basically referring to that the Jews are the problem in this world, and the now the new Hamas and HTS and ISIS, they are as well adapting that idea that the whole
Mm,
regional problem in the Middle East and in the world is the Jews. So
no,
yeah, they are Nazis. So
yeah.
it's just Nazis, but not in the race,
Mm,
but in the religion and in the ideology. So yeah,
yeah. It's,
and that's the problem that we have.
yeah, see, like, Maya, the person you introduced me, she was saying
Yeah,
that, this hate speech could, be, some kind of hate attack, really.
yeah,
And after October 7th, there was so much hate against
yeah,
Jewish people. The embassy staff were killed
yeah.
in New
For
York, I mean,
example,
Washington, D.C. I mean, this man screaming "Free Palestine," you know. I mean, he killed two lives. He needs
yeah.
to
So
understand what he did first before
yeah, for
talking about Free
example,
Palestine.
yes, exactly. So you have this thing, but now it's happening against the Druze, not the
Yeah.
Jews and the Druze throughout the world. So you have them boycotting,
Mm,
attacking, doing what they do the best,
mm,
spreading hatred on a daily basis, not just like in waves, but
yeah.
on a daily basis.
Mm,
And then imagine what will happen next. So if they somehow win, the next will be maybe the Kurds or
mm.
maybe the Christians, or I don't know
The
which is the
Christians
next enemy
had treated terribly,
as
under
well.
this Islamic State.
And yeah,
In PA, area,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
also Gaza. I mean, it's just
yeah.
totally destroyed, demolished.
It's like in Syria, for example, after Jolani took out, like they attacked also church. They made the
Yeah,
last attack was a suicide
they
bombing.
attacked the cross,
Yeah,
and it's terrible.
and they made a suicide bombing attack on a church in Damascus. So this tactic, this strategy that
Mm.
happened in Israel and the world, didn't believe what Israel did. Now is happening everywhere, you know. So you
Yeah,
have
and
the same thing.
And you know, they all these people for this, Gaza, they're not supporting anyone who is in trouble. Like, the Suwayda, they don't even talk about it. They don't care,
No,
and I
they
don't
they they
understand
don't care.
why they don't care. Because, because they're not thinking at all. Like, they
Not ju-
see not just
not
thinking,
just
but,
yeah, yeah. They
obviously,
are ignoring actively.
yeah.
They are actively ignoring the issue
Mm.
there. So my father, who was there, I lose contact with him on a daily basis. Like the phone rings here, and yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
when
that's why I
yeah,
needed to speak with Zaid in the exact time that he
mhm,
mentioned. Yeah.
exactly, yeah, yeah. And when we start moving here in Europe, and in order to highlight the issue, the whole
Mm.
world was looking somehow on Gaza. It's a tactic that, yeah, they have a lot of power right now, to be honest.
Mm. Well, See, like, so what was exactly, like, during your childhood, by the way?
Well, it was really really nice, in the city in Suwayda. It's a mountain, as I said before, and um, it was snowing like every time in the winter you have a lot of snow. That's on
Mhm.
winter time, and in the summer it was we are called the mountain of apples because the best apples that is sent throughout the whole region came from the city. So
Oh.
every day or two in the time where the the farmers take out the apples from the trees, we
Mm.
will go to the mountain and we were hungry, but we didn't have to buy anything because you go throughout the fields and you have everywhere apples and and grapes and um other things that are really sweet. And
Ah.
then we will be back home full as childs. And we had like the Druze community and the mountain history there is so rich. So um, every weekend, my father and I and the
Mm.
family, we go, we see our
Mm.
fields, we check out, we farm a bit as well. So we make sure that everything is okay. And
Mhm.
then we will go to the mountain, we will grill some barbecues and yeah, with the family. And in this time, my grandfather who passed away 2 years ago,
Mhm.
he had a wine fabric,
Einer.
like a little, yeah,
Oh,
exactly. So he made
wow.
wine. That was it. And we say everybody should taste the wine and the arak, arak, that is our like cultural drink. It's like raki,
Oh.
it's arak called. It's an
Arak.
alcoholic drink,
Mhm.
exactly. Alcoholic drink, and yeah, we every child, everyone he is helping to maintain this mountain and its history.
Oh.
So we are like so bounded in the culture there. The childhood was so great
Mhm.
until the war started. It was downhill from there until this point, 2011.
Oh.
But
Mhm.
the war actively, the first ISIS attack was 2018. And yeah, and now you have this genocide there. So yeah, I hope someday that I go back there and maybe see the memories that like the flashbacks. It
Mm.
was for me to be honest, it was like heaven back then
Mm.
in my childhood there. And everyone can say that about its country or its
Mm.
homeland, but it's so hard to see that this homeland is burned to the ground and the
Mm.
people that I have four childhood friends
Mm.
who are three, sorry, who
Mhm.
were killed. And a lot of them, I don't know if they are missing and they can't, like, it's under siege. So yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to
Yeah,
to to
it's
have.
under siege and Jolani. I must say I hate this Jolani, really. I cannot
Oh,
tolerate this person. He is now the Syrian president, like whatever, but he killed a lot of like American soldiers. And I'm not, pleased to hear, him like thriving at all. I
yeah.
don't really.
Well,
But
yeah.
people probably fear, what's going to happen next after Jolani, probably. if he ever falls at some point.
You know, the thing is, as you mentioned before,
Mm-hmm.
or as we mentioned before,
Mm-hmm.
he's the same but with a suit. So
Yeah.
it's somehow I don't know how he convinced the world that he's something, because 6 months ago, 8 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
he was a terror. He was on international lists as a terrorist. Like
Yeah.
it's not like years ago. It's
Mm-hmm.
back then, like 8 months ago. So Al Jolani is not just a terrorist, but as well he's wanted. There is in the history of the Druze. I would like to share the story.
Mm-hmm.
You have this president called
Yeah.
Ghazali, Nawaf Ghazali,
Mm-hmm.
who attacked as well the Druze. But not in the same way. It was like more political, but he he killed about 200 Jews, and he was the Jews revolt against him. They kicked him out of Syria and they followed him to Brazil. So now Al Julani is even wanted from 2 million human beings, Jews, around the whole world. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's the 2.0 Nawaf Ghazali, but in Islamist way, and he's more dangerous and he kills a lot. So imagine like you yourself, you saw and you are disgusted. So think about the people who are there, or me, for example, who lost a
Mm-hmm.
lot, and everybody outside. We all are not just disgusted, we are raged, and
Yeah.
even
We
more
feel
raged
outraged,
that,
really.
yeah, exactly. And raged because even the whole world is now like turning AI.
They don't
They
care,
don't want,
really.
they
Right.
don't
They're
care.
not listening.
They don't care, and they don't want to help. The only hope is our brothers, Druze in Israel, and the IDF, and the government of Israel and the people, the Jews. So that's our last hope.
Yeah.
If that
They are the
if
real
they don't,
supporters, really.
yeah, exactly.
Right?
So
Yeah.
you know, exactly. So if they don't
Truth.
move as soon as possible, it to be the end there.
Yeah.
Because if we are not protected economically and the siege doesn't open, if we don't die from bullets there, we will
Yeah.
die from hunger. So, and
Yeah, I
that's now
mean,
the
it's a
weapon that
man-made
Jolani used.
hunger too, systematic. And
Yeah,
they cut off the electricity on purpose, right?
yeah,
And
that's yeah,
Zaid was saying that, this medicine, cannot be used, blood cannot be used.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
those
It's outdated. It's
who
out of
need
date. Yeah,
transfusion, they
yeah,
die. And this hospital, staff were traumatized because of what happened, during
yeah,
this only whatever 22 days. And
yeah,
there's no food, he was saying. Like the international society does not provide them with enough
yeah.
food or does not pressure
Um,
Al Jolani enough to
no,
stop this
they don't
violence.
want to. They don't want to. And the thing is, maybe somehow, some way, we are like hoping,
Hmm.
but that, you know, there is a lot of people who need someday in the future who will be in need, but the next will be not the Druze, but it don't know which one, you know? So if they don't move right now and they protect this people who didn't attack or did anything to the government of al-Shara or Jolani, they didn't do or attack anybody.
Yeah, I remember,
So
yeah, like, see, Zaid was saying, I have actually one question about this, but, Zaid was
mhm,
saying that, when people had to face the Syrian army, HTS, they had to confess who they were. before they were killed. Those people like, were shaved off and, cut off the head. They were asked like, if they answer Syrian, what the hell is that answer?
Exactly. So there is a video of this guy who is actually a friend of my dad, who was asked, "What are you?" And he said, "I'm Syrian." And then he said, "Yeah, there's no, what are you? Are you Muslim or are you Druze?" And he said, "I'm Druze," and he was killed. So
Is he,
that's it.
so is it like, typical, like, or do they ask the same similar questions to like the
Yeah.
Christians,
Yeah,
the
but they will
Kurds
ask the Christians and the Kurds in the future.
and the Bedouins
But
too, right?
if uh,
Yeah.
exact, but it's not a that's the narrative that it's not, as you see, a Bedouins
Mm,
against the Druze. It's the regime Al Jolani against the Druze, but not just Al Jolani and HTS, Hamas, ISIS, everyone who is working against the Druze
mm,
right now. It's basically HTS, but
mm,
they are Bedouins one day, the
mm,
next day they are, you know, they change their clothes even, you know.
mm,
So the international community doesn't see who they really are, you
mm,
know. Um, and they basically don't want
mm,
us, you know, they want they don't they are not saying like basically, okay, you go and let me the land. They
mm,
don't want even the people to go out. They want to kill them. They
mm.
want to ethnically cleanse them. And that's the main issue right now. It's not Bedouins, it's not some kind of tribal
Yeah,
forces. Yeah,
a lot of, people misunderstand, this is something Maya was saying, translated for, and Zaid was also pointing out, how it happened is that,
yeah.
um, it sounds like, like Druze. It made, the Syrian army tried to make Druze as if they were like cruel people. Like, come on.
Oh my God, you know, that's something that you know, somebody believes that. I think he has a problem because it's not just like the religion of the Druze, not just that, it's cultural
Hmm.
to not try to not to harm, you know. We
Mm,
are peaceful people throughout the history, as I said. There's no known attacks. We are basically raised
mm,
in a way that, you know, you stay wherever you are,
mm,
don't interact, you don't do any problems, just be human. And
mm,
that's why throughout 1,000 years
mm,
or more, we didn't, you know, attack anybody. And
mm,
now they are trying to change the narrative that somehow Jews are terrorists, which I think, you know, how can I be a terrorist if you come
mm,
to me, siege me, kill my family, and
mm.
want to kill me and I defend myself? Like, what is that, you know? And that's the same narrative as what is Hamas saying, like the Jews are attacking us somehow and blah blah blah, you know? But they changed now that narrative against us. We
Mm.
are the terrorists. We need to cleanse them because, yeah, other
Well,
else.
probably, Hamas
Mm,
is good at propaganda. They are
yeah,
helping a lot because the
yeah,
same tactics, old same tactics, decades. They're doing the same thing over and over, lying,
yeah,
deceiving people,
yeah, yeah,
they deceive the Jews all the time.
exactly. And now you have Hamas and HCS, which
Yeah,
is the Hamas of
coordinating, really.
yeah, you have that, and you have you know, Al Jolani and ISIS adapting
Mm,
these tactics,
mm,
but they are using them against people who didn't, you know, throughout the war against Assad, the
yeah.
most city who accepted refugees.
Mm-hmm.
Suwayda from inside of Syria.
Mm-hmm.
We took so much from our neighbors because we said, yeah, there are Syrians somehow. They are attacked at their home. We need to help them. And they lived with us 14 years. And now they are doing that. The same people, which is so sad. But yeah, that is the
Mm-hmm.
issue right now.
Yeah, actually, like a person like you, I think that you have real security issues. And, because, Syrians could attack you and, they know who you are.
Yeah, I know
And
that. I've been,
I mean, there
you
are
know,
like
uh,
operatives, always, around Europe though,
uh,
somehow.
in Germany, you have neo-Nazis always also attack other politics. Now I am a politician here,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so I am
you
in
you
the
you belong to CDU, right? Yeah.
exactly, and I'm now like having this problem right now that
Mm-hmm.
even right now,
Mm.
sometimes I receive death threats. So it's all in the police department, you know?
Yeah, you created like this, I unit to support, the hate,
Yeah,
yeah, just,
yeah,
protect Druze
yeah, exactly.
hate
So
speeches.
exactly. So I established that group and
Mm-hmm.
told them what to do when they see anything on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is they are doing that every day
Mm-hmm.
for like 8 hours, 10 hours, and it doesn't stop from Germany, from
From
the
Germany,
German.
right? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So, and the problem is the death threats that, for example, I receive. It's not like I want to kill you. No, it's like I saw you somewhere. Where do you live? Can you tell me where do you live? Like some people, some
Mm-hmm.
Syrians. So it's basically under threat all the
Mm-hmm.
time. But I I went to the police, I asked
Mm-hmm.
them, and they said, yeah, but that's maybe some guy, some guy. We can't like put somebody to
What?
protect you for
So
this.
so you get
Yeah.
you get mails or something? Like
Sometimes
messages?
I receive comments, but I delete them. I screenshot them and I delete them
Mm-hmm.
if I post anything, and that's why I don't post a lot, because I don't want to get to
Yeah, so
be like.
I asked, people whether I could tag you or not because of this issue. Same.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't know exactly the street where I live. That's which is good point, good thing.
Yeah, that's
And
scary.
yeah, and I stay on the move in a like I because I lived in a war before
Mhm.
in Syria. So I know how to secure myself. But
Oh,
the
okay.
state doesn't. That's the issue right now here in Germany. We don't
Mhm.
see anything, from the political parties, or
Mhm.
the media, or
Mhm.
anyone. Like nobody is doing anything. So that's where I ask myself this question. You
Mhm.
know, maybe these people, these exact people, Syrians in Germany,
Mhm.
who are being reported to the throughout my people, throughout the
So there are Germans
yeah.
too who write all these hate speeches against the Druze.
No, no, they are Syrian refugees
They are Syrian refugees. Oh, okay.
here in Germany. And,
Hmm.
we have like 1 million, and I was a refugee someday. You
Yeah.
know, like a Syrian Druze, but Syrian.
Mhm.
But now we are not Syrian because they don't see us as Syrians anymore.
Mhm.
They wanna basically kill us. So yeah. So that's why you can't, like, nobody can say to the Druze, these people are traitors,
Mhm.
when you do everything that requires them to defend themselves. That's why
Yeah.
we asked, and the they are trying even to skew this idea that we have militias, some
Mm,
kind of militias, which is not the case because the whole everybody who can take arms there is fighting everybody,
mm,
and for 22 days with these fuel supplies.
yeah.
So it's not a militia versus Bedouins or versus the government. It's a minority against, I don't know how
The
much
Jolani.
millions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also see, you know, yeah, so like, Zaid was explaining how it broke out. I mean, people will understand if they listen to, what, Zaid said on my last podcast is, it's very,
Mm,
very clear what he said. And also he remembered very, a lot of things, on daily
mm,
basis, on hourly basis. And I mean, it's very traumatizing, for he was very, he thought of a lot of things, but he's under pressure. He himself, is under
yeah,
so much pressure. Like at this moment, even while we are talking, he's under pressure, really. And
yeah,
so, and your father too,
as
your
well. Yeah,
father is
yeah.
actually encircled. So,
Everyone there.
yeah.
Yeah. So as you said, it's not just traumatizing after what they did.
Mm,
It's not possible for anybody,
mm,
not just a Druze, a
mm,
human being, normal human being,
mm,
after what they did. It's not just traumatizing, won't be forgot. It's like it will be like like a generational trauma. That's
yeah.
why we can't be anymore living in under a homeland called Syria because this trauma will
Mm-hmm,
be transferring to
mm-hmm,
other generation, and the people won't forget what they did. We saw the whole, like, everybody is
mm,
against just a group that didn't do anything.
yeah.
The Druze didn't do it, they didn't attack anybody.
Mm,
So, and then yeah, you are infidels, you
yeah,
need to be died.
exactly.
That's it. So, yeah. So it's not a home anymore. It's more like a big castle and we are stuck there, you
Yeah,
know.
like really, really, caught, and
Yeah.
you cannot.
It's like a cage, and you are
Yeah, right,
surrounded,
exactly.
but
Yeah, that's
yeah.
an
And
open prison, for God's
that's
sake.
for example, that is
Like
the open
people should
prison.
stop
Yeah.
talking about Gaza and attack this HDF, right? Gaza
Yeah.
GHF, sorry, Gaza
Yeah.
Humanitarian Foundation. Like
Yeah,
people
well,
attack U.S. backed foundation and they support Hamas. UNRWA. They are
see, that's a
crazy.
madness. And the same terrorist, there is a video in Suwayda
Hmm.
executing a Druze, and he's
Hmm.
saying, that's for Gaza, poo poo. They are associating us with the Jews and the evil side, lol, which is funny.
Mm,
So, like, yeah, but they don't see that.
mm,
If if this guy who is killing a unarmed Druze
mm,
saying that's for Gaza, you
mm.
know, so I don't know how in this case the Druze or Israel is the problem, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they yeah.
Yeah, it's so heartbreaking. And yeah, it's like, like a lot of people misunderstand that Israel is like the only Jewish, state. There are
Yeah,
like Arabs,
Christians as
Bedouins,
well.
Druze,
Yeah,
Christians, minorities living. together
Exactly.
with the same rights, you know.
Surprise, you know. It has to be the normal thing actually, but yeah.
Under democracy.
Yeah, exactly. The only democracy, and you know, this is the idea of
Hmm.
Zionism and the Israeli state is
Mm.
to protect people who were basically attacked throughout the history. That
Yeah.
is the core of the it's Jewish at the beginning, and then like with the Druze who built with them this
Mm.
state and made this uh, blood band between each
Mm.
other, you know. But you are seeing this right now with other minority, the same minority who is like really in
Yeah.
alliance with the
You
Jews.
know, you
Yeah,
point out very important part is that, this religious minorities, this
yeah,
minorities, ethnic minorities, they people do not try to understand when they're attacked and how. The whole
yeah.
time, throughout history, I mean, just wrote actually about this, but never again is right now for the Jewish people for some reason. You know,
Exactly. You know, so
after the
because the
brutal
idea of
attack, they are being now attacked because of the brutal attack.
exactly, so the issue is now not just the siege,
Hmm.
but the whole world is somehow standing against
Yeah,
Israel, you
it's
know?
it's it's like, yeah, standing against Israel, and also at the same time, when I hear, the
Mhm.
Holocaust too old, that's very, very
Nah,
alarming to
that's
me.
so alarming. That's so
Because,
alarming.
see, it's when I hear that, I really see that a person wants to deny it in the next step, right?
Yeah,
And they're going
yeah,
to deny it, and they deny it, and
yeah.
reality, right?
It happens in steps, you know. So first of all, they will say, yeah, that was the Germans. That's why I don't care. And then they will say it's too old. And then they will say, yeah, I doubt the numbers. There's not just so many Jew like that's the idea about
Yeah.
denying the Holocaust. You can't deny
Mm,
such a great crime
mm,
by just saying no, it didn't happen. It has to
mm,
be it has to happen in
mm,
phases, you know, and some pattern, you know.
mm,
First, they will say, as I mentioned before,
mm.
yeah, it's just the Germans. We don't care. Then they will say it's too old, and they will say, yeah, the numbers were maybe not that well. Then they will,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
another anti-Semitism,
for
denying six
example,
million. Yeah.
exactly because it was 6 millions, and it is documented.
More, probably, I would say.
Even yeah,
Yeah.
that is the thing, you know. We know 6 millions, but we there's something that like a whole other problems that we don't know about,
Mm.
that it didn't made it to the books, and that's even another another issue. And
See,
there
like,
are
if that, you know, and then Israel is accused of genocide.
somehow, you know, which is funny, you know,
Yeah.
how a state, you know,
Hmm.
if we can adapt this idea, a state that
Hmm.
was built mainly to
Built in the
protect the
principle of protecting people.
exactly, and a democracy, you know,
Yeah.
you have the Knesset, which
Hmm.
is which is made from independent politicians, and yeah, it's politics, yeah, but it is a democracy.
Mm.
So if something wrong happens, then you are doubting the whole system of the parliamentary democracy that is in
Hmm.
Israel. You are denying the courts who built Israel, the law, like everything. And
Hmm.
somehow people ignore all these systems,
Hmm.
and they say, yeah, it's really easy to say something is bad and
Hmm.
yeah, they are wrong all,
Hmm.
but you know, searching and seeing like the real issue, it's
Hmm.
hard thing to do, you know. you do it on a daily basis as somebody who's journalist,
Mhm.
but the ordinary people, they
Mm.
are so easily manipulated by this propaganda. You know,
Well,
Israel
I've been
cannot
watching Al
do
Jazeera for more than 3 decades.
well, see, and that's the problem with what's happening right now is people are somehow deciding to go to the fast lane and say, yeah, Israel is a problem, and
Mm.
that's it. They are doing genocide, like a country that is so
Well,
advanced,
it's
you know.
advanced, but they're composed of minorities. Come on. It's not a
Exactly.
majority. It's a minority like population.
Yeah, it is, and it's
Even though it's
surrounded by,
expanding, but it's growing, but it's a very tiny nation, you
yeah,
know, which
yeah,
wants to keep pe Jewish people and all the people around
Druze as well,
safe. That's why they
So
have to defend themselves. And
yeah,
if they're taking out their defense abilities, it's terrible,
yeah,
really.
and the problem, not just the problem that
Mm,
they are like Israel is surrounded by about I don't know how many millions
yeah.
who basically hating on them every day. Not
Hmm.
just that, you also have the issue that these people who are attacking, they
Hmm.
are like medieval way, you know, so
Yeah.
you can't negotiate with them. That is a whole other problem, you know. They see that the only solution is you as as a Jew or a
Mhm.
Druze or yeah, a Kurd, I don't know. The only solution is you being dead. That's it. It's medieval. So yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, but uh yeah, so by the way, yeah, I just move on. So you you speak Russian a little?
A little bit, yeah.
So
So
you lived in Odessa, like
yeah,
when
that's
um
Ukraine.
mhm,
I lived there my childhood as well. I for about 3 years, and
mhm,
before coming back to Suwayda, and it was also so beautiful there. But
mhm.
now during
Yeah,
Ukraine
it's
Russia,
terrible.
it's
Yeah.
so terrible. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
in
there's this
Odessa,
problem called Russian Empire, really.
yeah, the Russian Empire is not just the idea,
Yeah, but it's an
what's
imperialism,
it's
to
it
yeah.
is exactly, and the problem is not just that, everywhere they are going, you see always war,
Mhm.
you see death, you see blood. So it is a empire is trying to rise up, and that is a whole also other problem. It's a European one, unfortunately. You know, I hope that this ends so soon because it's always also madness.
It's an
It's
imminent threat, really, to Europe in a sense, because yeah, I mean, and also Ukraine,
they
it's
are
heavily
they,
attacked. It's they're
yeah.
you're attacking deliberately the civilian complex. I'm talking about Russia, but
Mm,
it's just terrible. And
yeah.
so how old were you when you moved to Germany?
Yeah, to the point, you have Ukraine, they are the first line now
Mhm.
against the Russian imperialism.
Mhm.
For what I saw from Russia
Mhm.
was back then Syria during Assad, during the war they
Same.
supported
Exactly. Yeah, same.
exactly.
Yeah.
So exactly. So to the question how I moved here,
Mhm.
throughout the boat from Turkey to Greece with its refugees,
Oh, okay.
2016, and it was during the war from Assad and Russia against everyone. So against so yeah, so that's how and that's why I moved to Germany, to Europe.
Uh, I
That
see.
day there was
Yeah.
like this. they was taking refugees in,
Mhm.
and Syrians mainly
Yeah.
that time, because yeah, we didn't thought
Oh,
that.
yeah, Putin. I cannot
Yeah,
forgive him because of what
me
he
not.
did in Syria.
Yeah,
He was brutal against
he was also
civilians.
always he
It's
was
not
even
against
brutal.
some kind of political thing. It's against the
Yeah, yeah,
people.
the people who are like the same people who are attacking us now.
Yeah.
That's the paradox, which I don't. Somehow it's like a dream. It's a bad dream. You
Mm,
have Putin.
mm,
You can say to him he's a bad person. He attacked
mm.
Ukraine. He attacked even the Druze in Syria as well. But it
Yeah,
was
and
one time
Putin is
thing.
saying like, like there, Palestinians must be protected.
Yeah. So at that time, our
Hmm.
main problem in the
Hmm.
Druze Mountain was not just the Russians, but the Iranians. Like
Yeah.
they are the most dangerous back then, and that's why. But at least, we were not under siege.
Mm,
That's they are so bad,
mm,
but they were busy with the other groups, and that's why they didn't look at that. So you have a area called
mm,
so-called back then Syria,
mm,
and now these Syrians, the same ones who came
mm,
with the boats here,
mm.
fleeing from Assad, they are attacking us, the Druze, the
Yeah,
same people.
it's
It's just so crazy. And you have always also Putin, who was attacking everyone. He didn't
he
care
was
about.
attacking indiscriminately, really.
Exactly. So it's
And
for
it's not
him.
surprising what he does in Ukraine because
Yeah,
of what he did in Assad, with Assad.
with Assad. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So Assad was like dictator, brutal dictator, bloody, and he was supported from Putin. But
Yeah, exactly.
Putin, like everybody who stood against Assad,
Mm,
would be like what we are now having, in Syria. It's the ideology of erasing.
mm-hmm,
And you have now in Europe
mm-hmm,
Putin, who is, yesterday, yeah, the day before yesterday,
mm-hmm.
the Syrians went to Russia and they started negotiate like the new leadership,
Oh,
who
July.
was Al Jolani, exactly.
Okay.
The new leadership, who
Mm-hmm,
was 8 months ago bombed from the Russians.
mm-hmm,
Today they went to Moscow,
mm-hmm,
and the day before yesterday, not today, and they are discussing somehow some kind of a peace negotiations and even alliance between Syria and Russia.
well, they're trying
So
to purchase weapons or something, probably.
yeah, I don't know what exactly
Yeah, but
happened there, but
their main source of probably like, like weapons, that's probably Iran, Russia,
Turkey,
and Turkey. Yeah,
Turkey,
exactly.
Turkey for
Turkey's
the
in
new
Indo-Pacific.
leadership. Yeah, Turkey they are the joker right now. They are like moving the whole things, their whole toys.
Yeah,
That's a big problem.
but now, yeah, but anyway, you moved to Germany in 2016?
Yeah.
Okay. So you speak German fluently, right?
Yeah. I have a German citizenship as well,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, right now I'm a German
right.
citizen. So yeah.
And you live in Manischlapa. Manischlapa. I'm sorry.
Mönchengladbach.
Manischlapa. Sorry, Mönchengladbach. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm just so bad at pronouncing like
The German language is so bad. It's so hard. It was hard. So I'm not surprised. I'm actually proud of you that you could at least spoke that like somehow correctly.
I have to because but like how do you feel about your city?
Well, the my city here, at
Mm-hmm.
least at the moment, it's run by a mayor who is from the opposite or from a counter party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not that okay because you have this because of this Russian war, because of Corona before, you
Mm-hmm.
have COVID, you have a lot of like right now the economic issues throughout whole Europe. It's not the best,
Mm-hmm.
but it's healing. Yeah, but the people are, you know, everyone, not just the Germans. I mean, like everybody
Mm-hmm.
somehow everybody is stressed out, you know.
Yeah.
It's for us now as Druze, yeah, it's because something there, So, but since 2 years, like it's more depressed. It's not happy as before. But
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I like about the city
Mm-hmm.
is that people are trying to laugh and they are smiling at least, you know. And you see hope
Mm-hmm.
in a lot of them, and that's something that made me like not lose hope a
Oh.
lot. So, and
So,
that's what I appreciate in this
mhm.
city. Yeah,
So you're running for the city council, right? From
yeah,
CDU.
exactly. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so what made you decide to do so?
Yeah, well, as mentioned, as we spoke
Mm-hmm.
before, as I came here to Germany, this
Mm-hmm.
city and the people here, they took me and they teach me a lot and
Mm-hmm.
they showed me this great culture, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the history of the city, thousands of years, like the people here are really simple, you
Mm-hmm.
know, they are not like bad people. They are really simple,
So,
peaceful
so you were,
people.
offered like free lessons for like German's language.
Yeah, they did. I can't count how much they helped.
Okay.
They helped in the language. They knew that I saw a lot during the war, so
Mm-hmm.
um, they gave me this kind of friends, community, family. Like I have a lot of friends
Oh,
here, and
so
that's why I want.
okay, that's great.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
so and that's what helped me the most learning the language, for example, and loving the
Mm-hmm.
community, loving this city which
Mm-hmm.
is on the border with the Netherlands. So I go always to the Netherlands and
That's great.
yeah, and come back. So it's not that far. So and I want to give something back. So by serving this community
Mm-hmm.
where that took me someday when I was at my lowest. It's the least that I can do. And that's why, but at the moment, because we are so stressed, you can became a call from there, and maybe it's a good news, maybe it's a bad news from Suwayda, because as you mentioned before, with
Zaid.
Zaid,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's not, it's under siege. There's no electricity, but sometimes
Mm.
the Starlink, I think, the internet from Starlink
Oh, okay, Starlight.
sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, so Starlink sometimes comes
Mm-hmm.
and then they can call. So we don't know when, and that's
Okay.
why, you know, and that's why we are under stress 24/7 since 3 weeks, and we are doing everything in our hands,
Mm.
not just here in Germany, but every Jews around the world to, to change something, which
Mm.
somehow doesn't work. The
Mm.
only thing that worked is
Mm.
the IDF and Israel. The only thing that Netanyahu said, okay, we want to protect the Jews, and that's why he helped with airstrikes. But
Mm.
now they are under siege, and yeah. So because of that, because we are so stressful, because every Jews lost a lot. So because
Yeah.
of that, I couldn't do my campaign. We are middle now, we are now middle of the campaign for the
Mhm.
city council.
So when
And
is the election?
excuse me, I
When
did.
when is the election?
It's at the 15th of September.
September.
Yeah,
Oh, so it's coming
for
soon.
September. Yeah, it's
Okay.
September the 14th, and I didn't till today. I didn't even put a picture of me on the district where I was nominated from the party.
Oh, okay.
Because we are not going outside. We are here, and we are like watching and seeing and trying to help, and
Mm.
we are like under
Yeah,
a
it's,
such amount of stress. Yeah,
like if you take a look at it, really, I mean, every moment counts really to you
yeah,
probably.
yeah,
And
that's it.
but I hope that you probably you try to give back to the city you move to, and I like what what is the important policy for you to run for the city?
It's safety.
Safety, okay.
It's back to back. We
Mhm.
have a lot of Syrians trying to
Okay.
jihad here, and we have a lot of others who, like every Western nation, um, you have somewhere a security problem, and
Mm.
city here is it's
Yeah,
important. It's big
there
as
is
well.
jihadist attack in
Yeah,
Europe, you know,
yeah, it
and
happens
you
now a
could be
lot.
the target, like you
I think
could.
I think now at the moment,
Mhm.
because there's a lot of people spreading these Islamic things against the Druze
Mm,
from Germany, and we are reporting on an hourly basis.
mm.
Um, yeah, but if they don't, if they don't like go
They
bad,
have to stop. If they stop it, you would not do anything to them, right?
why would I?
Right?
But the problem is the like Germany, the state, you
Yeah.
know, they don't. I don't see any moves.
Oh,
The
okay.
same guys who are spreading hate, like we go to the police or we send them to the police
Mhm.
department, the whole videos, the whole things that they say or post, or so dangerous. It's like promoting for terrorism.
Yeah.
And the same people, like, they post the next day and the next day, and it doesn't seem that somebody doing anything for them.
Yeah.
So
Like,
to maybe like
yeah,
send them back to Syria, for example,
yeah, deport them really.
deport them,
I
exactly.
really, really,
Yeah.
see, when it comes to refugee status, I really am uncertain because Japan doesn't have legal system to protect the citizens really from
Okay.
the attacks. And there's
Oh
this
yeah.
blurry line that is, and but for some reason there are a lot of Chinese people attacking Japan right now.
Oh,
And Japanese attacked in China. And they're, like Chinese authorities, illegally, they illegitimately, arrest the Japanese,
hmm.
the executives, and charged
I'm
with
so
the
sorry to hear.
espionage.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. It's really bad. And so I mean, and in Syria from Syria, for example, there is a Syrian embassy, probably run by this Al Jolani thing. And,
It is fun, but
I mean, it's very scary to just, I would say like, like in France, I don't want to mention exactly, but there were a lot of incidents that happened
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
jihadists.
Charlie Hebdo, for example,
Yeah.
that's the first big boom.
And yeah, like it's really bad. I mean, the free
Yeah,
speech must be maintained. Democracy
you know,
must be maintained. And
exactly. So,
at the same time,
yeah,
in my opinion, it has to be like, you know, uh there has to be freedom of religion, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
but I mean, we're not saying, this jihadists
Mm,
anything, but they're doing something, right?
exactly, and that's the main problem here. Like in Europe, and
Yeah,
I don't know how it's the case in Japan, but I think
yeah.
it's the same.
No, it's you know
Um,
what? If this immigration system keeps on like going this far in Japan, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't know
yeah,
who's going
well,
to enter really,
yeah,
and that's
well,
the problem.
that's a big problem.
Hmm.
Like in Germany, they somehow like somehow, after they closed the border,
Mm,
so they closed the border, so no refugees that they and everyone who doesn't get the status,
mm,
will be deported, which is a good thing,
hmm,
but you have the security problem that you apply free speech on somebody who believes in free speech, not in someone who thinks that he has right
to kill
in everything,
people.
but to kill people, and somebody who is like, we can discuss, you will be sure that um, I will not attack you and you won't attack me.
Mm,
So we are Democrats, democratic people, people who want peace. That's it. But
mm,
if I am speaking to somebody who is basically like in his mind,
mm,
he is right in everything what he says, and
mm,
he has the right to say to you, "Yeah, I don't want to hear you. I will kill you." You can't apply free speech on some kind on these groups.
mm,
So problem, at least in Europe, that they are mixing between free speech and yeah, but if we deport them, it will be dictatorship one day. That's a narrative, and that's why nobody is deporting them. But
mm,
um, the thing is, the people they are applying free speech on,
mm.
they don't believe in free speech itself. They
Yeah,
believe
like
in what
saying
they believe.
whatever they want to say is not free speech, really. I mean,
That's
like, I hate
that's
him.
as well.
Like that's not
You know, for example,
that's
yeah,
not
and
like free speech. I mean, like that's a
yeah, it's not just like that. Free speech, as I said, is something that you can apply on both sides of
yeah.
a speech, not on somebody who just want to hear what he wants to hear, not like, I can't
Oh,
go now. Yeah, I can't go to the restaurant, for
yeah.
example, Syrian one, and
Yeah.
they will know that I'm Druze,
For
you
example,
know?
you point that out. You know what happened in
Yeah.
Japan recently after
And
October 7th?
oh,
Trump administration,
mhm,
had a very clear security,
mhm.
and deported a lot of people.
Yeah,
And
the
the
ICE,
thing is,
ICE.
Japan said, "Oh, it's a security crisis for, like there's a life-threatening situation here. So we're going to
Mm-hmm.
accept those who praised whatever, Hamas,
Mm-hmm.
who
Uh,
have praised this Hezbollah."
oh my
We don't
God.
know what's coming here, really. And
Oof.
that's how the university accepted them. Universities accepted many students into the university from the United States. And
Well,
like the minority people, like you are considered the same kind of people as Syrians in bad sense in some way. And you are
yeah,
framed
it's
by the
and that's
Syrian people.
exactly. It's dark, but it's funny. It's so bad, but it's funny because now you see what is the result of
Yeah,
that. You see that in my city, for
yeah.
example, and it's not that. for example.
Mm,
It is the example.
mm,
And that's why, like, what I want to say here, if they don't move right now,
mhm,
not just the people in Suwayda will be killed, but
mhm,
they know now, like, for
mhm.
sure, if that work out for them, they will do that all around the world. So it's,
Yeah, I think that what you put out like as a policy, like securities for all people,
yeah,
right? I
yeah.
mean, it's very important. I mean, see, I'm not, into discussion with this, German politics and detail
Mhm.
right now, but, in my opinion, I think that that's very important for Japan too.
Yeah, I think so as well, I don't want to see also a beautiful country like Japan, which I wish someday to visit
Mm.
soon, to be and its people to be hurt by such yeah such
It's
barbaric
it's very
ideology.
it's very dangerous. And I don't exactly see the whole point of this Free Palestine movement because it's not a free speech, it's a hate speech. I mean, and
That's
this hate speech is somehow applied to the Druze people, and this
yeah,
45
it is.
million thing is going around.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, now,
the mechanism, of hate
yeah,
speech.
it's happening systematically
Yes,
wherever they want to
systematic.
go.
Yeah,
Wherever they want to go, they do the same exact thing, and the people they are following in it, and that is the alarming part.
yeah.
You know
So, see,
that it
like, I believe in civil rights, really. I mean, equality for
me too,
people.
for
But,
sure.
everyone, like you
Everyone,
do. I mean, you believe in equality, then, you have to honor people, right?
yeah.
So,
That's
I
what
mean,
what
yeah, like,
yeah,
if I talk, alone, I would be taken as if like I were, anti-immigration. Well,
mm,
I'm not against immigration itself, but it matters when the security issues come together with it. And
yeah,
we know that there are a lot of criminals from China getting into Japan with very much open border policy.
yeah.
And so, I mean, see, like, I'm not saying that, people should, like, I'm not discriminative or, I'm not like a racist, but, I hope that, there are people like you, like, in Japan too, like running
Thank you,
for office,
thank you.
and, you know, because you are so you like Germany a lot. You dedicate
Yeah,
yourself to your country because
yeah.
you're now
To
German
Europe, to
citizen too.
Germany. Yeah, exactly. So, like, first of all, like, thank you very much.
Mm,
It's so, like, I love this country. I love Europe. I love the democracy. It's something that I didn't have
mm,
in Syria back then under Assad.
mm,
It was so he was a dictator. It
mm,
was corrupt. It was like bad, and I'm seeing the best opposite. Europe, you have democracy, you have free speech, but
mm,
the problem is, for example, you mentioned Free Palestine. You know,
yeah.
um, you know, they are now, like, not Free Palestine, but the people who are supporting Free Palestine, like it's
Mm,
Saudis or I don't know,
mm,
Turkey mainly. They and Iran,
mm,
they are now they are doing the same with the Druze. They are saying, okay, that's not their land, that's the native land.
mm-hmm.
It's the Muslims and the Arabs and the Syrians,
Yeah.
which is funny, but see, if you say right now, for example, yeah, I want more security in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
For them, you are against Israel somehow, which
Mm,
is funny. And that's why they will attack you, which is so funny. When you say you are for security for your land, you are not against migration. You are
mm,
just against the people who are doing crimes, you know, and that's it. You don't have even to justify yourself. You want the best for your country, and that's it
Mm,
for your city. So they even associate this
mm,
with, yeah, you are against Palestine and against the people there. And that's why you are pro-Israel, and that's why we need to attack you. Like this
mm.
hate, this hate speech from these pro-Palestinians here in
But
Europe and in the West. Yeah.
I think that it's important that you, like people like you, support, Israel. Like the
Yeah, of
whole Syrian
course.
people will be seen like, they hate Israel, including you. I mean, that's not true, right? I mean, say
Yeah,
like, you believe that, Israel has, equal rights for everyone, including the
mm,
Druze,
yeah,
right?
that's
The Druze
what the
people in
history shows.
Israel are
Exactly.
very nice, in a very, very wonderful nation.
Exactly. And they serve proudly in their military because
Yeah.
that's mainly because the Druze and the Jews they had, yeah, they built, but it is like the idea of the state of Israel. It's not just more, it's not just the rights of existence
Mm,
which is denied by, the other side.
hmm.
It's now something that is important to exist
Yeah,
because,
it's true.
you
Yeah,
know,
it's true.
back then, at the
Mm,
time in the Ottomans, who they were like occupying or
hmm.
regions, that's for 100 years, but that's where the Druze were in the mountains, and we stayed there. Now, everyone has better technology and they can do a lot. So imagine that at this date,
Mm.
there is no Israel.
Mm.
It will be so, so bad for
But
everyone.
see, because there is Israel in that region,
Exactly.
there are still Druze who can
Yeah, there are still
stay
Druze.
kind
Yeah,
of there.
that's
But they're
yeah.
stuck right now, really, and
Mm.
I mean,
They,
the like it's very terrible, and people are not talking about it. People, those free Palestine
yeah,
people who want,
they want
yeah,
they
like,
don't want to as well, because they are just there to, to spread hate. They don't want really to help. Somebody who does want to help doesn't go to an embassy and kill to people who are working. For example,
yeah.
that's that's terrorism. That's not actually that's a left-wing terrorism. What we are
Mm.
seeing.
So,
Mm, yeah,
like, it's like, yeah, I think that, probably like ensuring the security and also, protecting the rights of the people, will lead to probably the next
exactly,
step. Exact.
exactly, and
And, but I was not aware that much that the rest of the people besides you, I mean, except for the minorities like Kurds, Christians, they don't
yeah,
attack me,
Kurds,
but
yeah,
this my majority is attacking the
majority,
tiny
yeah,
tiny
yeah,
people even in Germany. That's a problem.
yeah, yeah. So, and that's the issue. That's
But
what we are having right now. Yeah,
we have the same problem. Like you will be seen as if you were the same kind, and then like because after you people you tell that people that you are the Druze, they notice that maybe, but they don't. People may not know who the Druze are. Like I don't think the
well,
Japanese would ever know because the Middle East
yeah.
is such a far away region to the Japanese.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
And
first of all, thank God we have somebody who is like you, for example, who has this platform and you are trying to help. That's first. The second is exactly because of that. No Druze will say I'm Syrian or I'm Lebanese or I don't know what,
Um, so now
We
they
need.
say we are the Druze, but they you have citizenship anyway, so it's not
Yeah,
a problem.
I have citizenship, but I don't, these left uh, woke mindset. They say I identify as, I don't know what.
They are
So I,
racist too.
yeah.
You
So
you are different from German, like
yeah. Well, what I will say now, it's really funny, but it's funny because it's so stupid. That's I'm so sorry to say that I'm saying
Yeah.
that word, but there's no
No, it's
logic.
it's
Like there's
okay.
no,
It's fine.
you know. So thing is now, I can say proudly I identify as Druze.
Mm,
I'm not Syrian anymore.
mm.
Even if um, that's exactly why we need
I
the
mean,
strongest neighbor
yeah.
who is the closest to us, even not just geographically, but they are close
In the
to us
mindset, in the
in the
heart,
mindset and
they're
in the
very,
blood.
like,
Exactly. And even the blood, because we have
yeah.
this blood band. So
Yeah.
that's why I know Druze now is identifying as, yeah, I'm Syrian Druze, or I'm Lebanese Druze. No, we are
Yeah.
Druze and we need to be protected. That's it, because you
Oh, in
you
Syria,
didn't
right? Yeah.
it in Syria now. And the only way to do that is A, you get rid of Al Jolani, which
Mhm.
will cause more problems,
Yeah.
unfortunately. That's
Well,
that's
we just, we really need to get rid of this, you know, this thing.
yeah.
And, and we need to
Yeah.
take out this barricade and then, let the aid go in, really, this open prison.
Yeah, but now the step that need to be
Mm.
taken. The first is the siege. It has to be broke.
Yeah, right?
It
Yeah.
has to be,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. The siege has to be broke, and the people who are responsible for the siege has, like, for example, the Stellati guy I mentioned before,
Yeah.
who who is basically saying, yeah, we want to secure the people in Suwayda, but from the Druze militias, no, it's not militias against the government. It's
Mm.
a Druze against a ISIS, who is now more advanced and more supported than
Mm.
ever because of Turkey and Qataris,
Yeah.
basically. So that's one thing. And this guy is now, like, with Ajolani, they are responsible not just for the death of more than 2,000
Mm.
innocent civilians.
Mhm.
Most of them, they are elderly, children, and women.
Yeah. They
Not
need
just
to be
that,
protected. Yeah. And
yeah,
also,
uh,
we should not be allowing these, majority population that's hurting people as
yeah,
refugees.
basically,
We-
you know,
I mean, really, really,
exactly.
really need to understand who are
Ex
in.
exactly. So, and that's what I meant with security. You
Yeah.
know, I know these people, and I know that they will turn,
Mm,
like, really fast
mm,
and change and kill you, even if
yeah.
you accepted them one day. So they will forget that,
Mm-hmm.
and they will follow what they their ideology. That's it. That's for
Yeah.
them. That's the purpose of living. And that's basically what we are dealing with, not just like in Germany. Hopefully, it will be resolved. But now in Syria, the people who are attacking the Druze, they want to die. That's their purpose.
Mm.
They want to die and take with them as much as they can. And
Yeah. And They
yeah, and
that's Hamas, really.
that's
That's Hamas.
the
And,
same. Yeah,
for some reason, like though like Han Yunis, there were tons of like Hamas, like stealing aid trucks of UNRWA,
They do that every time.
right?
So and then it will be paged like, yeah, Israel is
Is doing it for
somehow
taking
responsible for
for stealing
exactly.
food.
So exactly. So the same people, like the people who are stealing aid
Yeah.
in Gaza and make people starve, the department
Yeah.
of them in Syria
And they
said,
are starving
you know,
the Druze.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, and sending food that is um, outdated to be
Yeah.
poisons, and
We need to stop this, aiding
madness.
Jolani.
Yeah,
He doesn't need aid or he doesn't need any honor or whatever.
exactly. That's one thing. The world must see what's going on, but
Yeah,
what we need the
I
most
cannot
is
tolerate him, personally.
exactly.
So he's there,
And
but
but you can't exactly you can't because you can't negotiate with these people. You
no.
can't they the whole purpose of them is
Mm.
to kill you.
Yeah.
There is no what negotiations or I don't know what lifting sanctions or
Mhm.
I don't know what exactly what it's just making the death of you more like in the future.
Yeah.
Close that just. But if you support it
Hmm.
as a Western nation
Yeah.
who is, who believes in these core ideas
Hmm.
of democracy, free speech,
Hmm.
and other security policies,
Hmm.
and made this great nations around the world like Germany, Japan, United States, Canada. If you support such a guy, then you are basically destroying the core of your democracy because
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, but President Trump, I think that, he is probably on, especially, he's very supportive of Israel, which is very
yeah,
important, I think. And
I hope he
like
stays
he
like that.
started to impose penalties against those who promoting boycotts of Israeli product, which is great, I
Which
think.
is great. And
Yeah,
now it's the time for President Trump to
to pressure
move
Jolani.
to pressure Jolani. It's not just Jolani in this case, it's Jolani, Turkey, and
Uh,
everyone who is supporting him, and let the IDF finally come to the ground to protect a minority under the international law. It's
yeah.
you have these barbaric
There
attacks.
is the
So
international law here that Israel has the right to protect them.
exactly. So you have a minority inside of in Syria,
Hmm.
and you have a lot of Druze
Yeah.
who are Israelis,
Hmm.
proud Israelis, who
Yeah.
are in the army, and they are like really people who are built there. So
Hmm.
you have them,
Hmm.
and you have now their cousins outside the borders are down, and these people will be like they will feel disappointed. And I hear that. I have a lot of Jewish friends who are Israeli Jews, and they are saying to me, we are doing everything to make to do what we need to do and to protect our cousins and our brothers outside the border.
Yeah.
But now it's really up to President Trump to, you have the legal right to do that as Israel, and you have the fabric of the society
Mm.
of Israel. The
Mm.
Druze are really important there. It will be even devastated. So the people there are doing, and the Jews as well, they the government want to do that, but hopefully
Mm.
the United States
Hmm.
will support that. When they support that, and with the whole international international laws that support the idea of protecting the Druze. In this case, you will show the whole world what is
Yeah,
the
he
problem for
he
you.
has the power to do it, really, President Trump.
Yeah,
Really.
he has.
I
Yeah,
mean, but
that's
see, Jolani is really out of control. You know?
he is out of control,
Yeah.
and the problem is, there was a question
Mm-hmm.
on the German TV.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, does Giuliani want to do this, or does he haven't that power to control his forces?
No,
And
no,
that is that
no, it's
that
different.
he has the power. He
He's
has the
so
power.
out of control.
He is not just in control of his forces. He is out of control, and he can move them like this. The
Yeah,
person
like
who
a
could
chess game, like.
exactly. So the group that could basically take out Assad and Iran
Mm.
from Syria, they are disciplined enough to follow orders.
Yeah, so
So yeah, he
yeah,
is in control.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't seem to understand, but Israel does have rights to protect, the Druze people.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know,
Not just in their not just in their constitution or
but
the
under
blood bank.
international law,
Under
actually,
in the
it
left,
has, yeah, it does
exactly.
have, yeah, the authority.
Exactly. So because you have a siege
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
the
that's true.
international community doesn't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, under the law,
Mm.
they can do that because they are the only first force in the region
Yeah.
who can do
Mm.
that. And that's why I was speaking about it's not about their right, not
But
just the
yeah,
yeah,
I hope that there is some kind of like demographic change in a sense.
yeah,
But
yeah,
like I think that October 7th was not just, a small, incident, but that affected a lot,
yeah.
region, the whole
That
the whole
that
entire
was
region.
yeah,
And
that
that's
was
how
like
we
the
know, what they are really. And that we cannot be negotiated with them.
yeah,
Really.
yeah. So now it has, after October 7th, and
Now
now
we know
our
that Jolani cannot be negotiated with the
now
siege
exactly.
that's happening. I mean,
Yeah. So how can be somebody who is,
and
I don't
like
know.
realistically, those who can secure the, humanitarian corridor, that's like Israel, really.
Yeah, that's only
Realistically.
because they are the only force and the only
Yeah, I
people who
mean,
cares about that. You have, for example, Jordan. They don't believe such. They don't care if the Druze have been, I don't know, genocided like completely, or
yeah.
you just have this one nation called
Mhm.
Israel who cares and does have the power to do something, and
Yeah.
that's the only hope. you know
Yeah.
yeah,
Probably see like what you probably like, hope to see in the future probably is, like Suwayda's like demographic change. Like, and then, this siege cannot happen the next time, So,
yeah,
I mean,
because the
this
siege is
has to
not
really end, really. Otherwise, a
exactly.
lot of people are going to systematically, more people, a lot of people have already died, lost their
Yeah,
lives.
but
So,
more of them will die from their injuries. They will die from
hunger,
uh,
all these,
hunger,
yeah.
supplies, water. You don't have fuel, you don't have oil,
Mm.
you don't have anything. They are cutting. The main problem is that Giuliani is saying, yeah, we are not sieging.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
he said in the press that, like this press release that, we criticize, condemn the acts of like we did not
they did
attack.
that, they did that with
They
the
are
Allies
under siege,
beforehand.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So,
The
and the thing is, the other problem is
mm,
they can open the doors
mm,
for the Druze, but nobody will sell anything. to the
Yeah, I
Druze.
mean, the only people who are saying is actually Israel. So,
Exactly. So, for example,
so
if
that's
let's
how people hope for not Netanyahu in many ways.
yeah, well, and the thing is as well, that's the narrative,
Yeah,
the people doesn't see the issue right now what's happening because it's not just mainly
mm,
Druze against Bedouins, but it's Druze against everyone,
yeah,
and I am really proud of the fact that they are still on the ground and they are fighting until the last, like 300s. It's the same thing, the film, the Spartans,
oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's the same thing,
Actually, yeah, Zaid, I told him,
Yeah,
please, stay safe. And, he said, like, we are brave people. Yeah. Yeah, I had a little conversation with him, like, after, yeah, the recording, but, he spoke for more than 2 hours and the internet lasted. So I was very lucky, I guess.
that was lucky day.
Right? Yeah, I
That
was
was that was a
surprised.
lucky day. I
Because he
was
would say just 1 hour, but he could actually in internet last. So
Exactly, yeah. So you have now, like, even if Jolani opened up the door,
yeah.
nobody from Damascus or the other parts will sell to the Druze, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
And that's why I
And
meant we
they,
need
if
to
they
be,
this Damascus, Jolani comes to you, they want to kill you, really. I mean, it's not it's not to save the Druze. And I'm not saying this not to promote something, but that's what
uh,
Jelani is.
that's what they did, and
Right.
they entered the city to protect people,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then they made what they made,
Brutally.
but
Yeah.
brutally. And when you see what they were saying to each other doing that, you will see the humiliation, the the burning of the religious Christian and Druze, and the religious parts and the religious holy places burned to the ground.
Mm,
Uh, Books, it's not it's a real genocide. It's
mm,
not Bedouins against Druze.
mm,
So, and you see ISIS flags, you see the Syrian flags, you
mm.
see every flag there, and that happened, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think if he comes again, it will be different. The
Mm,
different thing will be what Ahmad Adalati, who is the guy responsible for the siege right now and
mm,
the security in
mm.
this area, the security
Yeah.
forces, the general security forces, as he said in the records, don't photograph, don't do anything. We will come inside, we will stay, and then we will burn everything. So next time
It's
they won't
very,
be
very, very scary, really. And
that
nobody,
is
just, you people like you from outside cannot stop watching, like your brothers, your sister. I mean, your relatives, really, you know.
yeah,
So,
they are like that. I from my family alone,
mm,
we lost, like, not directly, just Alafif family. We lost about 10.
right? Yeah, it's so scary.
Okay? And the other families are not better,
Yeah,
So
yeah, Zaid talked about, how Druze were treated, you know, those who cooperated or, were even like 10 of the 10, the entire 10 family killed, for example.
yeah,
I mean, people need to understand that there's no, room for like to
there is,
talk with.
exactly, because it's not about politics anymore. It's not
Yeah.
about, like,
I mean,
proxy war,
yeah,
no,
it's,
ideology.
yeah,
It's
really.
their ideology. As I mentioned before, if you choose to negotiate with them,
Mm.
then you are just slowing the death
Yeah.
of you. That's it. Because they will come back, but the knife will be at your throat. So, but the
Yeah.
time until then will be, as you mentioned before, as Said mentioned before, even the people who cooperated
Hmm.
were afterward killed,
Yeah.
because because
Yeah, they
they,
welcomed, the
yeah, and
army, gave tea,
exactly,
blah blah.
gave tea to them and they were killed. So you have now, like, they they will be they are dead, but at the time they will be dead, but it was like a little bit later. That's
Mm.
it. And that's it. That's what happened to the people who try to negotiate and to cooperate.
Yeah.
Most of the deaths were unarmed people.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. So,
like this Jolani guy
mm.
saying we want to disarm the region. You know,
See,
so
disarm, he's very tricky.
yeah,
He's not about disarming.
no,
He
no, no,
wants to kill people. He has
exactly.
this, wish in his head for some reason. It doesn't
Exactly,
go off. And, we realize
exactly. Yeah.
that he actually wants to kill the Druze right now. And that will come with Kurds, Christians, whoever he wants. And that's gonna,
Yeah.
he has this desire to expand, really, which is,
Yeah, and that's it. That is the
and I
most,
don't know how much desire he has really right now. He's like devouring people, you know,
yeah, because,
eating
and
up people.
as I mentioned before as well, the same people who were bombed by Putin and Assad, they
Yeah.
are now like, they are in full support of him against everybody, because for them he is like Jesus, because he moved the pure evil, the Assad, who was killing them every day. That's
Mm.
why we need to praise him, and everything what he say is basically true, and they follow him. So you have this mass of people who are ready, and they are not just in Syria, as I mentioned. They are here, for example, in Germany, France, Netherlands, like
Europe
everywhere.
really needs to protect itself from this jihadism, I think.
Yeah, now it's an
The way to
international
protect the
jihadism.
Europeans too,
Yeah,
And
it's
at the
yes,
same time, actually, we should not be talking about Europeans, whoever, but everyone in this, staying in the
yeah.
country.
I am in on paper. I am somebody who is European right now, and I
Yeah.
need protection. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
yeah,
so I mean, I believe that you have so much, hope. And also, you have, hopeful ideas, to, create
thanks.
like realistically safe and also, you know, very, it's a very city that, helped you become,
Yeah,
German. So
yeah, that's
yeah,
too.
it's great that that you are running for the city council, and I hope that the election. I hope for the best of your election. Actually.
Thank you very much. I
Yeah,
hope I hope that everything in the next days, maybe week. I hope so, that
yeah,
that will change somehow.
yeah.
And our
Yeah,
only hope is now the IDF, to be honest.
yeah. It's true. Yeah, it's true. I mean,
Yeah,
but people, those mass population wants to criticize IDF, right?
yeah, but they are
They
doing
are
this.
very, armed, nice people.
Yeah, that is the issue. They are, Al Jolani, he tricked everyone. The German foreign minister,
Hmm.
Annalena Baerbock. She
Uh-huh.
went there. She supported Syria with, I don't know how many millions. I didn't exactly saw the number, but
Hmm.
he managed to trick everyone that he is somehow moderate. But it's not a coincidence that he was someday, like at the time, he was like 3 months
Mm.
bef before, like 2 months before that, he was, at the time, he was internationally wanted terrorist
Yeah.
and his group as well. So,
Yeah. So, see, when
and
he
he managed,
won, it was like a thug, winning. And then, I mean, he became a president for some reason, but,
yeah, he
like,
put
oh,
himself
yeah,
as,
Maya was saying, if, they were provided with this passport, the Druze may be killed, the security issues. That's true, really. I mean, they will come after the Druze for some reason.
yeah, they went after, beforehand, they went after the Alawites, as I
Yeah,
said,
right.
in the
Exactly.
massacre in the, in
It's
the, in
horrible.
the, in the coast, in West, exactly. So, and the international community somehow tried to do something. They couldn't because he sold the idea, yeah, the regime beforehand was mainly made of Alawites, which is not the case. You know, a lot of them were like Syrians
Mhm.
with who supported Assad and in
Mhm.
killing other. It wasn't Alawites' problem, but he managed somehow to get out after doing this with the Alawites and killing there more than 1,400 people.
Yeah.
So, and then he made some kind of a committee to see from him, the people who are in this committee, they are appointed from his team, to see which atrocities happen and to punish the people who did that. So, and then
Yeah.
they attacked the Druze, but what they did is what
Yeah.
he did. He basically said, we will stop for now momentarily the work of this committee. So yeah, they are not
I
working.
mean, he is not functioning as president now at
No,
all.
no, no,
He's
as a
just
terrorist.
murders, you know.
Yeah, a
Same as
terrorist.
Hamas, you know. Hamas, we think, Hamas, Jolani, same kind to me all the time.
It's just a different department,
Yeah.
It's just a different department. So, but the problem is right now, if like the only hope, as I said,
Mm.
Israel. If
Yeah.
they don't move,
Mm.
it will you will have not just Hamas in Gaza,
Yeah.
but I hope that they will be defeated there, Hamas. But you will have 500 Hamases, outside, and they will be ready to attack.
Yeah.
That is the issue.
Well, very scary, but I hope that, the siege really, must stop.
Yeah, that's a most priority at the moment.
Priority. And, I think that humanitarian corridor really, is created by IDF, to be honest, as you say.
Yeah,
Right. I
it's the
mean,
only
it's
the only
because it's
possible
only
way.
possible by
Exactly.
them, really. So, I mean,
Exactly. At the
yeah,
moment, it's the fastest, the
yeah,
securest, and
yes,
the way
exactly.
that even in the future, at least, the Druze will be independent and protected economically. That's
Yeah,
in the far future.
yeah,
And right now, they will be at least some kind of aid for the people who are injured, are for the brink of a breakdown. It's the 22nd day.
yeah.
So
I mean,
imagine how hard is that?
a lot of people cannot probably like get enough drinks either. I mean, something to
Yeah,
drink, right?
I
So, I
don't
mean,
think
that's
so.
very, very crucial to the life.
That's crucial, and the infrastructure there during the massacre was completely destroyed. For example, you had ISIS or HTS, since they are the same. They were burning, for example, the
Mm.
ground, and they were killing chicken, pigs, and cows. They didn't eat them; they just killed
Like
everything.
the same as October 7th, really. Yeah.
And the same of like the Nazis, if you didn't work for them, you and your field will be killed. That was like Hitler before, you know. They don't want to leave any chance for anything to live there, basically, or stay alive there.
Mm. So, I guess that, the time probably is up. And yeah, thank you very much for, coming to this podcast, really. And, taking
Thank
your
you very much,
time,
Hannah.
talking
No
about,
problem.
yourself, and
Happy to do that. And
I hope that you have success and political career in the future.
thank you. Thank you.
And yeah, I really pray for that because, and that makes difference, that, we should not be closed society. So,
Yeah,
but it's
it's
probably like in the yeah, like 5, right? I guess like 5:30. And I hope that you
yeah.
have a nice evening.
Thank you. I hope for
Hopefully.
you. I wish you a good night. Please
Okay.
stay
Yes,
safe and
I will, yeah. So this podcast will be available in maybe about like 2 hours or something. So
happy to hear that. Happy to hear the podcast, and
okay.
please say hello to everyone in Japan.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Yo, bye
Have
bye.
a nice day. Bye. People think that Jolani is probably, does not understand the nation state. Well, he does. Well, see, he is Jolani, ISIS. I don't forget what he was doing. He did a lot of things. He did a lot of terrible things. It does not make any difference. And he just proved it. Okay? There is no press, this just these press releases that the Syrian government release that does not make sense because they're doing all these wrong things. And not just wrong, but now they are torturing, murdering, and they destroy the hospital to kill people. That's systematic murder. And another thing, systematic hunger, because they cut off the electricity, the food goes bad, people cannot eat food, and there is not enough aid. Far from enough aid. So naturally, in his opinion, where he can depend is actually Israel. So, I mean, a lot of people misunderstand all these allegations of genocide. You know what? Kurds, Bedouins, yeah, they all like Israel. And Israel has supported them um, as a matter of fact. Okay? This is not about verbal thing, but they really supported the neighboring ethnic groups. And throughout history, after its foundation, and also before its foundation, there was a relationship between the Druze and the Jews, as uh, Mr. Alafif said during this podcast. So I hope that there people will understand that there is total misunderstanding, terrible misunderstanding of this Israel committing genocide. Like it's a propaganda by Hamas, and like we need to speak about it. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's not just ridiculous, I cannot be optimistic about it anymore. Because that will lead to, okay, the 2 embassy staffs were murdered in DC. The Israeli embassy staffs. That's the result of the enormous anti Semitism. It's not just free Palestine, it's they resorted to murdering people. And how many times did this person shoot? It's just unimaginable. So, you know what? He is running, Mr. Alafif is running for a candidate. And I hope that his campaign is also safe. And also, well, he does not really have enough time for the campaign right now because he's very, very concerned. I mean, it's not just worried, but he's very worried about his family, his father, and his people, the Druze people. So, well, and at the same time, he's Germany. He lives in Germany. No, he has appreciated German culture, and also the friendliness of the German people. After he became a refugee in Germany. So I hope that his election campaign goes well. The election will be soon. I'm not sure what will happen, but well, I hope that I'll just have a good faith in what will happen. I will just hope for it. Okay, so today is kind of early, so I hope you have a good rest of the day. And well, it's still kind of early, but in Israel. But you know what? My friends text me around this time too, and well, yeah. I mean, probably they'll have a good morning soon, like many people, and it's very late in the East Coast, but I will post. Yeah, I will post. And then I will post this for Eastern Standard Time. But anyway, I hope that you have a good day. And today I don't have to say good night. Good day.